Okay, so round two. Now let's see if this works. We'll find out in a second. Let me scoping this out over here and see if I see what I need to see. Had some software things going on. Looks like it's working. Maybe. Okay. All right, we're good. I think we're good. I think. All right, Herbert Garcia, if you are there, let me know if you see video. Snow, if you're around, let me know if you see video. Hopefully, hopefully this is fixed. We'll see. I'll have to wait a couple seconds to see if it's actually working, but hopefully things are back and better than ever. But you know, we live in 2019, and for whatever reason, the computer wants to live, you know, straight back in the 80s. So that's not cool. That's not cool at all. So if things are working and you're here, don't be afraid to put something in the chat and let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep cruising on with you know, with doing things. So let's see. I wanted to take a look at, yeah, let me clean that up a little bit right there. Don't worry, you don't need to see that. All right, I want to take a look at 3-day. We're heading into Thursday, so I want to get a better overall picture on how the week has gone, right? So the last 72 hours of trading, what's moving, what's trending, what's cruising out there. I set it to all, so we have BTC, ETH, and USDT, and then I have the RSI scanner. I'll flip back to that in a minute, but Engine already, or Enigma, trying to remember which one that is, already caught my attention here. So this is real nice. Now I call something a 4-buy when it has the split, you know, 4 green, 4 pink. I don't really have a name for this one yet, but this is sideways, slightly bullish on the lower time frame. So from 5 to the 1 hour, where you have a strong trend from the 4 to the daily. So if these start going light pink, then you're looking at, you know, a nice little pullback zone. Now we can see up 177%, down about 41% in a 3-day period. This is worth pulling up the chart and seeing what's going on with it. So I'm going to do that right now, and we'll go Engine ETH, and we'll take a look. All right, so yes. It is Engine. Okay, yeah. So obviously a huge candle here. This is on the daily chart, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit. I can't believe I haven't pulled this up in the last... that's wild. Yeah, that's real wild. But all right, whatever. We'll take it from the beginning. All right, this is how I usually set up a chart. Just overall, when I first pop it open, I just get some levels. Obvious levels that I think are interesting, and then, you know, I always tweak them out a little bit later, but this just gives me a rough draft on what's going on here, and then I can always tighten those up as need be. Then I look at trend, quick and easy, quick and dirty. You know, I see we obviously have higher lows, we're making higher highs, so that's cool. Good move up, huge pullback. Looks like it broke previous market structure, so that's not great. Still a higher low, so I'm okay with that. Another huge push up, higher than the previous high. Pulled back down again, broke previous structure, so that's not great, but still a higher low. Another push up, that was a fail. Right, failed to make a higher high on this particular push with another drop down, double bottom. And then we have this huge push right here. So overall, I'm cool with it. I do want to get some type of trends on here. Just get an idea of what we're looking at. That's sort of what I'm looking at here. Confluence, confluence, confluence. Good. Break down below and then a push up. So that was a good break and retest. And what it did is found support on the 200. That's that big white line right here. So this is almost, it's not a perfect channel. It's not even like that great of a channel, but let's get an idea on what we're doing as far as these highs are concerned. Do something similar to that. Yeah, of course that's going to happen, but that's okay. Not the greatest trend. I'd rather do a channel here, but it might not make enough sense. So it's going to be more like a broadening wedge. Now, if we do just the highs, you got something like that, but yeah, I'm going to leave that off, actually, altogether. I'm going to stick with the lower trend, and that's fine. We'll zoom in and get a better idea on what's going on. So let's see. Is it just not working? Oh man, nothing but problems. So is that it? Is it working? Is it not working? I can't tell. Kinda looks like it's working, or not. Dios mío. Yeah. Huh. I don't think it's working. It was working for like a split second. I seen it. Now it looks like it's not working, which is strange. Very strange. Yeah, I mean, I can't even get the screen up on the other computer. Oh, man. Alright, so let me try this. See if this does anything. Do that on the fly. That's pretty sweet. Alright, so made some more changes here, I guess, in the process. Let me throw a fib up. See what we got going on here. Yeah, I wish I could just get this all figured out. That'd be great. Alright, so that's fine. I could talk to myself. 618 confluence with previous horizontal support resistance. That's kind of topped out on that little high, just on the body of that high. So, you know, for whatever reason, when price came all the way up to this zone, it topped out. We had a little wake up on the daily, but that's where it ended up closing. So I went with the body on that. Kind of confluence with this. We could slide that down a little bit. That's fine. Right, and that'll just show that it topped out just in that ballpark. And I'm totally cool with that. Pretty flexible with horizontal support resistance, as long as there's like a bit of a range and understanding that there is, you know, range involved, and it's not exact sat for sat. So huge push up right here. The candle did 110%. That's ridiculous. Big pullback down to the 5 immediately. Then we got a little sideways action here and then bullish action again. So we could have already missed the pullback. The pullback could have been just the 5. We can set a target down here, the 618, with that support resistance zone right here. So that little support leg. And we could do something like this. If it does end up pulling back further, then we could capture the move near the 618 and then go from there as far as what our targets would be. Yeah, I guess the stream is just not. I guess it's just broken. It's awesome. So that's the kind of thing we love, you know, when things just don't work. It's terrible. Terrible. It's terrible, I tell you. See, I tried checking over here, and you know, like your settings are right and everything's cool if it says that you're live. It does. So this will be weird.
does, so this would be like,
that is weird.
this would be weird. Does,
Ah.
this would be like,
Oh
is
man,
weird.
that lag is
This would be weird.
insanity.
Does,
Ah.
this would be like,
Now, if I
man,
did
that
this when I
lag
was
is
like 10 years old, I would do that for an hour and just stare into it. It'd be pretty funny. What is this? Oh, that's ZEC, little Zcash there. Engine over here. Yeah, so I'm not thrilled with the stream. I'm sorry. Apologize. I will continue to tweak it in any best effort to make it better. But it's just garbage right now, and that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with garbage. All right. So that was Engine ETH. Overall looks good. We might have missed the entry. So if you did miss that, we might have missed the entry. It did tap down at the 5 pretty perfectly. I did put a possibility of it pushing back down to the 618, which would be a nice area to retest that zone right there. So no guarantees it will go that low, but if it does, that would be a decent place to get in, I think. Let's see, RSI is doing things, already curling back up the other way, looking to get bullish again. So we'll have to wait a little bit and see how that plays out. But yeah, that 5, that might have been the entry, or at least the better entry to get in. Back to the 3-day up move, peak gains. Last 72 hours of trading. Next on the list, RCN ETH. We can see the daily went sideways, slightly bearish, while the 12 is sideways, slightly bullish. Picking up the 4 and the 6 on an uptrend is nice. Little bit of a mess going on down here at the lower time frames. 15 slightly bearish, while the 5 and the 30 and the hour are slightly bullish. 72 up, 55 down so far. 10 million market cap, so it's not great. Let's just pull the chart and let's see what we got. RCN ETH. All right, so things have happened, but this is actually good. This is the first move up and the pullback, second move up and the pullback. So you already have 2 to work on here. So you break previous structure highs. That's good. This area right here would have been previous support, right? Turned resistance right here. So that's a great level to get over. Confluence with the 200 and the 100, so that's good. We'll take that for now. This is a bearish cross, though, having the 100 under the 200. However, you do have support from all of them right now. At least price is above it. So we have this long-term trend line over here. This is this red line coming down here on the diagonal. To break above that, we closed above it, which is nice. Then we pulled back down and retested it. So this is actually really good. I'm cool with this. And again, this is on the daily chart, so there's a lot of action in between what we're seeing right now. But let me do this real quick and see what kind of pullback we had on that first move. Right, so we just barely missed the 618. That's why you front run some of these a little bit, because of that. That little wick down there, if you tagged 99.41, you wouldn't have gotten in. So if you front run it a little bit, you can still get that bid, you can get that place, you can get the trade in. So 99.41, but the low we hit was, what do we got? 10,059. So a handful of sats. Front running that would have been okay. So this is pretty good. Let's take a look at the next move. Let's look at the whole move itself from the bottom up. Currently retraced back to the 382, working its way down to the 5. But let's do this and get an idea for just this move. Again, getting close to the 618. Now, if it already played, then again, this would be an entry that's already missed. There's 2 ways to play this because you're working off a trend. You came down, you pushed up over it, retested it, and for now on the daily you failed, right? And not only that, you push yourself a candle that shows bullish behavior up, and the bears took control ended up pushing it all the way back down. So it's not the most bullish of candles by any stretch of the imagination. So you have to take that into consideration. You could play this two different ways. You could play right above the trend line, and that could be your entry. So if you do cross back in, you're saying that you've retested it and you're good with the push out over, and so that way you're going to hop in. The other way would be a little bit more conservative, say, all right, well, this already played out. I still think it's going to go back up, but I might go previous structure high. I might go the bodies over here. What kind of confluence do I have? I got the 618, so I'm cool with that. And you might be able to just go right up to the wick, which kind of brings you right to where we're at, even if we go a little higher there, right to the wick. So almost where we're currently trading is an idea, an option for an entry. If you're confident that the trend line has been tested and then you want to push up above it and you feel like it's not going to go back down. Now, I know you shouldn't be using words like feel and I think and all that, but, at your own discretion. I hope by now you guys sort of know what I'm talking about here. So this could be decent. Now, this double run is nice. We can get targets based off of this and get an idea on, what we might be looking at as far as the whole thing is concerned. So we could say if we took that first trade there, we could have been targeting the 1618. We would have hit it right here on this candle. If you didn't get out then, you could have gotten out here on this candle. Next target, 2618, so 19505 on the sat count, and then 23, 113, and look at that. All right, so check this out. The 423, well, first off, right, you got that first level right here, that first aqua line. Now, the 423, I did sort of haphazardly throw that up there, but we're looking at these areas here that were previous pivot points, right? This is previous support after a big dump. You found support right here. Seems like a relevant level. Same thing over here. You came down, you found support, pushed back up, came back down, found support again. Right, pushed it back out, found resistance, came back up, retested it, and so on and so forth. So as trading happened, you dipped all the way down here. Your first push up in a long time found resistance right at the top of that body. And then again, all the way back down. Again, you tried again, you failed. And now that's a target. Right? That 423 is a target. So it's funny how these older lines come into play, way way out into the future, where it becomes relevant again. And nice, as we've been looking at this, is actually dipped down a little bit lower than where it currently was trading. So, if you are looking for an entry on something like this, right, zoom in and scope it out. See what the 4 hour looks like. You know what I mean? See what you're actually doing here. So these are the few candles that we were just looking at. So the last 4 candles, or the last 6 candles, obviously represent 1 day of trading. But we can see right now, this is previous structure high. Came down pretty sharp, found a little bit of support, pushed up a little bit. You're riding that 13 right now, right? And then you lost the 13 on the cross. So bearish cross, 813 cross, ended up pushing it down. Now the 8 is all resistance. And then you have this candle here that's getting resistance from both, but support on the 21. You see how that all works? You see this maneuver right here? Take a look at that. And you can see how MAs can be used. Any type of MAs. See how they could be used for support, resistance, current price action. So when you flipped over here, that's bearish, right? Because you ended up having the faster MA is below the slower MA, right? Indicating that price is traveling down. That's its fastest MA, so that's what's currently happening, as opposed to what price action has told you on a longer scale. So it's an 8-13. It's not a ridiculous combo, but take a look at that candle. Right? It's a 4-hour candle. Resistance is right on the 13. 8 is right in the middle. And support is right on the 21. So that's a really good example of how you can play MAs. Now, some people just trade these crosses all day long. You know, they'll trade like a whole MA cross all day long. You know, like a 50-80, 40-80, something like that. It's a trading style. It's a trading strategy. I like to have confluence with some other things, but you know, I like a 2155. Everybody likes a 5200. You know, that's your golden cross, your death cross. So those are all relevant trading styles. Some people do a 10-10. They do a 10 EMA with a 10 MA. There's a bunch of different strategies out there, but I think this is really cool. Just that one candle really represents at least the 13 and the 21. The 8's nice because it shows you resistance, 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 resistance on the last 4 candles. So the last 16 hours of trading, that 8 has been good resistance. So, you know, when you flip the 8 and then the 8 goes above the 13, so now you've righted the ship, then you can look to get long. So it's just a good idea to have that in your back pocket. That's always something good to know. Yeah, so I just want to double check this over here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure if anything's working right now. It's cool. It's cool. No worries. No worries at all. What else do we want to look at here? Let's take a look. So RCN ETH. All right, so bread was doing some things. Sideways slightly bullish from the 4 to the daily, and then not so good on the 5, which is good because that's possible entry, but the overall trend isn't exactly great. Now you're all the way down to like literally the 786. You're on the 786 for the last 72 hours of trading based off the 3-day. So not wonderful. We could pull the RSI scanner up on bread and see what we got going on here. I'm going to put that in the watch list, and then I'll swing it over to the RSI, pull the watch list up. This way I just don't have to go hunting for it. But, of course, it has to actually pull itself up. Well, it looks like I didn't have to. It's right here. All right, so bread ETH, again, this is pulled off 3-day moves. This is 70-30 with 14 on the settings. So default settings for the RSI, 70.92. All right, so the 12-hour just crossed over to 70. I was more looking at this right here because you had the 5-minute chart was in a downtrend, strong downtrend. So I wanted to see if maybe this was creeping around the 30 zone. 47's not too great. So I'm gonna let bread go for now. I'm not a huge fan of the trend of it. Being too sideways like that isn't really giving me much to go off of. Now this could be one of those deals where it's just sideways. And if that's the case, then I would be interested because you get one of them breakout plays, which is similar to what we've been seeing on a few of these coins. But I'm going to let that one ride for now. Mana, we just looked at actually while the stream was broken, which it may still be broken. So why pull it up twice when it's broken? Okay, BAT ETH. BAT ETH, 3-day. See. I mean, it's okay. This is okay. You like to see that converted over, which we did actually. See, now this is nice. This is like the evolution of trend, right? So you're slightly bullish, slightly bearish, and then you converted, right? You're slightly bullish, right, to 4 to 6, and you convert the pinks to light greens over here. So the BAT BTC chart should be better. We're going to take a look at that. BAT BTC. All right, now back on the bat chart. So we did have a big move up, right? We charted that. This doesn't look right. Okay, that's over there. We're gonna get rid of that. All right, so let's see. We got our bottom fib here. We're gonna put our top right in that zone. That's pretty good. So we can see on this move up here, this big move, this big push, right, ended up getting support right on the 618. That's great. Starting to turn around. All right, finding resistance on the 5. That's okay. Yeah. RSI is somewhat flat, above 50, sitting around 59, curling its way back down a little bit. Now we're on the 4-hour chart here. Let's swing to the daily, see what we got going on. All right, so daily you show like a big giant wick. You got this first move here. It took a really long time to realize. Finally did. Came back down only a little bit. Found support just under the 200, which is nice. So 200 on the body. Blew through on the wick. But this is actually really good right here. That's good. We like that. Came up. Had a nice big push, 12. And then had a 9% close realized with trading all the way up here. So as a candle, we were like live trading, right? Your 40% move. Peak gain just on that one daily candle. So that's great. That's really good. Pushing it back down here, down to the 618, just below it. And then finding support on this red line, which was right over here. So previous structure highs on pullbacks, right? So a pullback from this big move. Yeah, okay. I want to see if that was nope, that's good. All right, so pullback on the previous move, and just like this, same thing. Structure high just from after the drop, right? So big drop, you double topped, back down again, push up. Couldn't get any higher and failed to make anything higher than that before. So therefore now it's a level of interest. Come down, we created a range, broke out of the range, pushed up, tried to make it through, couldn't close above either the 100 or the 200, stayed below it, and then had a couple moves this way. So a slow grind up, but was able to at least capitalize on these areas here. Push back down, and now we're looking at this big push. So this is okay. It's all right. I'm cool with this move. That should have been the entry. I mean, if you weren't already in it, you would have wanted something like that at least. Would have been nice. So if you're not already in it, now you're kind of chasing a little bit. Although I'll tell you this much: after seeing this move up here. An entry at the 5 and the 618 would have been fine. I would have been totally okay with that. Being that we're not even at the 5 yet, and we've already found rejection at the 618 or support at the 618, then I'm okay with it, but some people wouldn't be. If you want a better entry, be patient, and you could try for the 618. Just know you may not hit it. And if this whole thing reverses and starts going down, then you're in the 618. Get out, buy the 786. And just call it a trade. All right. But I really do gotta fix this stream, or I gotta do something. So I'm gonna call it a wrap for now. Hopefully I'll get some things fixed before I come on next. All right, so a little beat up, but that's all right. Till then, I want to see you on the exchanges, and happy trading.